Hi everybody, good morning. Just going to get you going there and oh, I think that worked. So here we are and
Hi everybody. Good
uh-oh,
morning.
uh-oh. We have two things going just to make sure I can get my comments. Anyways, okay, so we're going to do some fun things here. We are going to attempt a new thing because I always love doing new things. So we're going to do some grape leaves, which is something I have never done before. And we're going to get these guys going along here. And I think that we really want the bigger one. So I think it's really cool to make some pickled grape leaves. Hi everybody. So what we're going to do is we are going to, it's kind of a pickling or preserving or, I don't really know what it's called, but I'm going to do it anyways because I think it would be really cool to make stuffed grape leaves with, with rice or whatever. I know traditionally it's like a Greek dole something or other. Jane will get on here and tell me what it's called. But anyways, yeah. So we're just going to get these going for, for a couple minutes, and then we're going to roll them up. Well, that one's got a hole in it. Not sure how that'll work. But what I'd like to do is to get a whole jar full, and we have beautiful, beautiful grape vine. Hey, Jewel, good morning. Nice to see you. Dolmatis. Thank you. Thank you. That's why it's so much fun to do this Facebook Live every day, because I just love to experiment with foods and learn new things, healthy ways of cooking. And I'm not a professional cook, so I am so happy that you guys hang out with me and join me to play with food, healthy food, and to help me out when I don't know when something's called, what something's called, or when something's called. I often don't know when something's called either. Sometimes it just flies right over my head. So, so this is awesome, fun, and some of them are like really huge, which is what you want, I think. And so we're going to put them in here, and this is, it's kind of like pickling. So this is the salted water, so I have 2 quarts of water with, generally speaking, when you're fermenting anything, and you're doing a ferment, like a fermented carrots or fermented vegetable or whatever, generally it's 1 tablespoon of salt for each quart of water, generally. And so that's what I have here, is 2 quarts of water, so I have 2 tablespoons of salt, and I might end up using that anyway, but as I pull these out, what I'll be doing is I'll be turning them over, so probably won't matter, and I might not use all these anyways. Okay, so we're just going to let this come to a cook, and in the meantime, we're going to talk about some other things. And do some other things. So, one of the things that I was going to talk about yesterday and we didn't finish was, and it's looking a little wilted today, is the fennel. And so if you have fennel, most people are familiar with the fennel seeds, that you get actually usually in a Greek restaurant, right? Or an Indian restaurant. Maybe any ethnic restaurant, but the fennel seeds are the ones that they give you after the meal to help you digest. So I have my fennel It's actually a really huge bush, and it has the flowers and the seeds. And so I'm not going to add it to this whole thing because I don't really want it to taste like fennel, but it's really handy to have fennel if you wanted to add it to your, like any other ferment that you had or any other dish that you have. And I happen to have a huge patch of fennel. So if anybody wants some, I have some available. If you live in Port Alberni, I'm happy to share. And the fennel is also, as we know, super good for digestion and stuff like that. And the seeds themselves, like in a tea, really good for digestion. And then also, it offers medicinal benefits too. Just looking at my chakra tea here, having a sip of chakra tea. And so the fennel has calcium, it does have magnesium and also manganese, and so they're really, really good for you. So anytime you can add fennel to a dish or to your teas, you really, it's a benefit because it's very concentrated. So the other thing we're going to do here, super exciting. Oh, it's getting hot. Okay, just want to make sure everything's clean. I picked the leaves earlier, and so they're washed. And so we're just going to wait for this to come to a boil. And in the meantime, we're going to make a little smoothie. And I have some chickweed here. So we're going to add chickweed. And whenever you can add additional benefit to your smoothies or your desserts or any other foods that you have that you're making, if you can add chickweed or dandelion or any other kind of herbs that have nutritional value, it's like adding a superfood to your smoothie or whatever you're making, because we have our regular vegetables, celery, broccoli, I'm losing my words, cauliflower, carrots, beets, potatoes, all that kind of stuff, Brussels sprouts. And so we get those kinds of vitamins all the time, but when we add an additional unusual food, these guys, any of your natural weeds will pull out different minerals from the soil than what your regular vegetables do. That's besides the fact that a lot of our vegetables are already, can be grown in more deficient soils, right? The soil's been used over and over and over and over again, and then they try and replace the nutrients, and a lot of organic farmers do a really great job. But still, your chickweed, your dandelion, all those different things are going to pull up different minerals and trace minerals and vitamins and things that you might not find in your other regular foods. So it's always beneficial to add something different to your smoothies, and especially if it can be a superfood. So I'm going to drop that in. And the other thing I've been talking about too is freezing your bananas. So we talked about that, was it yesterday or the day before, that when you have bananas that are ripe or a little bit overripe, I don't like them too overripe, chop them up about this size and put them in the freezer. And so if you don't have a Vitamix, you might want to chop them a little bit smaller, and in case your blender isn't strong enough. But generally speaking, the bananas are going to be, even when they're solid frozen or frozen solid, they're going to be soft enough still for the blades to be able to not bog down. But in doubt, cut them up smaller. So these guys are like about 2 inches. I took them out of the freezer about, 10 minutes ago. So so we're just going to drop this in to make a nice cream. And we're just going to plop those in there because the Vitamix is very strong. And we are going to make a caramel nice cream. Oh, I just thought of something. I should have brought some chocolate flakes out. But anyway, there's so many things. As I start cooking, I just get so excited about so many different things that are possibilities, right? When you're starting to make something, it's like all these things pop into your head. And so that's why I never really follow the recipes. I just kind of make it up as I go. So here we have, this is our caramelization. This is simply dates. This happens to be a packaged chopped dates. Ideally, you would probably want to have, whole dates and take the seeds out, for it to be fresher, and take the seeds out and then chop them up yourself. That would be the perfect way of doing it. And I don't know why I need to put that on my list, but I am out of whole dates. And so I did get these at the grocery store just to show you guys this recipe. And it's still a better choice than real caramel, actually. It's a little bit of, it's much, much healthier. So here we go with the dates. And what I did, okay, don't go too fast. What I did was I put them in here and I poured boiling water over them. So not a lot of water, there's just a little bit in the bottom here, so we're just going to add that. And if you taste the water in here, that is my grape spoon, so I need a different, I'll use this. If you taste the water of the soaked dates, it really does taste like caramel or caramel. Caramel or caramel, either. However you want to pronounce it. Okay, so we're just going to pop these through the Vitamix, and I'm just looking for my other bowl. Okay, so hang on to your ears. And that has the chickweed in it too. Uh-oh. What's going on? My Vitamix it has to be unplugged. Okay, so technical difficulties, and a octopus. We're having an octopus moment here with our technical difficulties, and you know what else? I totally forgot. I left the dehydrator on. So I apologize for that humming noise, but we're in the process of many things. So we have, I don't know, pears. We're doing pears, peaches, and all that kind of thing. And so because my dehydrator is right here, I left it on, and so hopefully that didn't interfere with you hearing me too much. So there's always a reason. The Vitamix didn't work because I needed to turn the dehydrator off so you guys can hear me. Okay, off we go. Here we go. Oh, wait, hang on. Don't hit the chakra tea. I just wondered if I should flip these over, and I'm thinking I should before we do the next thing. So I have I'm going to take these guys. Oh, and they're tearing. I need a bigger thing. Okay, I'll use this thing. I don't want to tear them. Like I said, I've never done this before. Oh, there we go. I think we're okay. And, okay. Yeah, so I have, I'm a certified herbalist and a natural health consultant, and I am not a professional cook, so this is like total experimental, just doing good food. I just do good food. Oh, you couldn't hear any hum. Oh, yay. Okay, well, it's very loud for me. I'm glad it wasn't too loud for you. But anyway, so yeah, I've got all like hundreds and hundreds of recipes on YouTube, and so they're all healthy 15-minute meals. I'm not a professional cook. I have no idea. I just like to eat as healthy as I can. Being a nutrition consultant, it's important for me to keep my immune system strong and be healthy. And so those recipes are on there, and usually it's like fast, easy, 15-minute healthy meal. So this kind of thing is like totally not anything I have experience with. So we're just having fun today. But the caramel and ice cream is going to be awesome. Okay, here we go. I guess I'm going to have to push those bananas down. And so there's another reason that you would want to, new knife, that you would want to cut those bananas a little smaller so that the blades can actually get to them. So, they're mushing. I don't know. Maybe I need more water. Okay. Come on, you guys. It's always a fun experiment on this Facebook Live. This started because everyone was locked down, and I used to do in class, you know, whatever, groups together, and we would meet up Tuesdays and Thursdays, and I've been doing that for like 10 years. And then when we couldn't meet up and get together, people are like, oh my gosh, you know, we should do something. So I started the Facebook Live, and it's just been a bunch of us having fun, getting together in the morning, and sharing recipes. So, all right, let's give this another try. Okay. Okay, so I know it sounds like rocks. Sorry about that. If you here I was worried about a hum. Okay, so thank you, Vitamix. You do an excellent job, and you are good at grinding rocks. Yeah. So, like I said, if you don't have a Vitamix, you might want to chop your dates up finer. I just put it in big hunks and chunks, which you can clearly hear. It wasn't too happy about that. But anyway, thank you, baby. You work hard for me. And, okay, I've neglected to get my cute little dessert dish out. So, I have just pieces of fennel and herbs everywhere. Okay, so this is going to be fantastic. What I want to do, I'm actually going to turn this off while I'm seeing it almost finishing. And what I'm going to do is put this in, and it is going to be amazing with little chunks of caramel, right? So because of the date. And where am I going to put this? I'll put this back here. So the thing that you can do with this, it just looks fabulous. The thing you can do with this is if you wanted to have like a little bit of sea salt on it, you could do that. Now I'm just looking for a spoon because I just can't wait to try it. And I have way too many things on my table here to try and find utensils. Okay, so. You know, you really don't even taste the banana. It just tastes caramely. Oh, it's really good. Just want to taste it plain first. And then add a little bit of the Himalayan sea salt. And then you can taste it again. Oh my God. All the difference in the world. Totally all the difference in the world. Yeah, so I would just keep the salt shaker beside me as I eat this and keep adding it on. You could mix it in. I'm not really sure. Like, obviously I didn't measure anything, but I'm going to guess that that was about half a cup of dates and I'd say a whole cup of frozen bananas. And so if I was to add sea salt to that, for that amount, because there's still some in the blender, I would say maybe a quarter or an eighth of a teaspoon. And you can give it a try. Start with an eighth of a teaspoon and then just put salt over top, Himalayan salt or Celtic sea salt. That is absolutely decadent. It is, like, that's crazy awesome. Okay, so back to our real job here, which I didn't plan out very well. I didn't plan out very well at all, because how am I going to get these leaves out? Okay. All right. I should have watched a YouTube video on this. Oh, they've got a little, I don't know, they've got a little white Oh, that's probably from the salt. Okay, I'm just gonna, I guess I'm just gonna put them on here. I'm not usually at a loss for words, but I do have a towel here. So, all right. Okay, let's just do it. Okay, so apparently what we are supposed to do with our clean hands is to take each leaf, and that one's a little smaller, so I'm going to put him off to the side. I guess I don't need that, but I wasn't really sure what I was going to do here. Maybe I'll put them all off to the side. Anybody else have suggestions? Help me! Oh my gosh, this is just so different. Okay. Oh, look it. Oh, how pretty. Okay, awesome. Good thing I have the towel here. Clean towel. Clean cutting board. Okay. So, so the deal is, for it to be really salted, apparently, what you're supposed to do is you would add a little bit of salt. Can you see that? Oh, you know what I forgot? I was supposed to put lemon juice in there. Okay, I'm just going to go like this. Oh, you know what? These are going to go in a jar. I can put the lemon juice in after. I was going to add a little lemon juice and apple cider vinegar, but I can do that when I put them in the quart jars. Okay, so we're just doing a little bit of salt, and we're going to basically just roll them up. I have a feeling, now I could be wrong, and if you're an expert on this, please do let me know, because I have seriously not a clue. I have my kitchen scissors here, and it just makes me want to take that stem off. I don't know if I'm supposed to do that or not, but that's the thing. That's what I'm going to do, and I'm just going to do this completely backwards and roll this up. Okay. Okay, my first grape leaf. You guys are going to be bored out of your mind while I do this. Okay, so I'm going to do that, and then the plan is to put them in there, put them in the jar, and I think I should be doing it like this because the stem's bothering me. I think it's facing me the wrong way. Oh my god, you guys are going to be so bored. Anyway, we're going to do really fun stuff with this once these are all done and pickled. So I'm looking forward to that. What else was I going to tell you? Oh, we'll get rid of this. Okay, so yeah, couple different things that are running through my mind, which I keep doing this upside down. I'm going to turn these around so I don't get so easily confused, because I apparently, obviously, am easily confused today. So, yeah, so I want to do a like a wild rice thing with this. I mean, you could do so many different things with the grape leaves. And one of these days, I'd like to do a vegetarian cabbage roll too, which would be really fun. So, the oh my god. Okay. So anyway, so back to what we were talking about earlier this week. Working with things. A lot of people have been asking me about things that are happening. You know, with the going back to school and all of the cautions and all that kind of stuff. So, herbal teas. We've gone over this many times before, but herbal teas that are antiviral, super, super important. So, I am going to say it again. You know, I mean, everybody knows this already. You guys all know the basics are daily, especially as we're going into fall. The basics of vitamin C, and we're talking 1,000 milligrams, at least 3,000 a day if you feel anything. Bare minimum 1,000 a day, vitamin C, and make sure that it's a you know, an absorbable type, not just ascorbic acid, because that can be really irritating to the stomach, especially if you do feel you have something coming on. and you're doing 3,000, then that can be really hard on the stomach. So make sure it's a natural source, with bioflavonoids or whatever, buffered, whatever it is that you want to do. The ester Cs are really good, but there's many different brands. And so you're going to do that. You're going to do your vitamin D. Usually that's like a D3, and they come in 10,000 units, and the authorities that I've spoken to, the health people, are saying like 40,000, so 4 vitamin Ds. If you're feeling anything, like you could just do 1 or 2 just as a prevention, but if you're feeling anything, go upwards, up to like 40,000. Some people say 80. I don't know, that might be a little too much, but you need to research that yourself. So I'm just saying that this is the general protocol, and then you need to look it up, because for your own particular body and your own particular system, and depending on what health issues you have and what kind of medications you're on, you may not be able to take those amounts. So you do need to check that out. Of course, the other thing they're talking about is zinc. 50 milligrams a day seems to be the standard that everybody's agreeing on, and so definitely that. Quercetin is another one that is highly recommended right now for these particular times, and so get your quercetin in as well. Some people are talking about vitamin A, which is, an additional thing, really good for the immune system. But honestly, you guys, these kinds of things are the most important thing. The fermented foods, right? So anything that's fermented enhances your intestinal bacteria, your intestinal health. It just occurred to me that I might be doing these backwards and upside down. Who would know? I don't know. Anyways, I look forward to the comments. I can unroll them the other way if I need to, I'm sure, when I take them out. Anyways, the fermentation, I get so easily distracted. The fermentation is so important because of the fermented foods enhancing your intestinal bacteria and providing all the good bacteria in the colon and in the intestine, and creating that really super healthy gut flora is so important for your immune system. And for some people are saying like it's key to fighting these viruses, your intestinal system. And so it may sound funny to some people, but apparently it's and I do believe that in general health. Like, I know it really enhances your immune system, and your gut biome really is like the engine of your body, right? It's the thing that runs everything. And so super important to have good intestinal bacteria, right? Because that's the part that's going to be fighting everything and protecting you and keeping you strong and healthy. So so these fermented things are really, really good, which I need to do cabbage again. I always have some in the fridge, and the fermented sauerkraut, and I'm pretty much all out, and so I need to do that, but I hate to bore you guys with doing the same thing over and over again, and so I'll probably end up doing that on my own. I don't know. Some people might be interested, though, that have not seen the videos in how to do that. It's pretty easy and simple. We've done fermented carrots and fermented cucumbers and something else I can't remember. Lots of fermented salsa. We did fermented salsa, fermented mango salsa, fermented peach salsa, and those are amazing. Anyway, back to the antiviral teas that people have been asking me about for recipes. It's not really recipes. It's what I like to do is to provide information that you guys would have access to in your house, like so that you don't have to go out and buy things. And so all the studies that have come out through the research, as far as kitchen spices and herbs, cinnamon is coming out number one. It really is. It's so important for the, I didn't realize this was going to take so many. It's so important anyway, that the cinnamon, so important. It's topping number one, like as a kitchen spice herb, right? So there are herbs and things that are that herbalists and other people are using to combat this virus, or to protect yourself. Actually, it's not really combating, but it's protecting yourself from this. And so there are lots of herbs that that people talk about. But for you to be able to have access to something that you have available in your kitchen, if you don't have anything else, cinnamon is number one. So we're talking not just a sprinkle. We're talking like you know, to where you get a teaspoon a day. Okay, so that's more of a therapeutic dose. And so we're not talking just tea, but if you, I mean, in general, you can sprinkle some on, and it's really good to have every day as an antiviral, and it does so many things for digestion and your immune system and all kinds of things. You know, for sure, like a sprinkle a day is good for just in general. But if you feel like you have a little bit of a sore throat, or you have anything going on, or you feel like you've been exposed, then my glasses are falling. Then you want to go up to that teaspoon per day. You know, you can, or half teaspoon a day. If you really feel something going on, go up to half teaspoon a day, so that it's more of a therapeutic dose. So anything that you're, you know, any kind of herbs and spices that you're using as medicine needs to be a therapeutic dose for it to really have any effect. Everything except for cayenne. Cayenne, you don't need that much, obviously. Okay, so the other thing that you would have in your kitchen is thyme is coming up super high on the list of research, you know, for common kitchen herbs research. And it's actually coming up as an antiviral much higher than on the list than rosemary, which surprises me. Hey, Monique, hi, nice to see you. I don't know where Darlene and Jane are. I didn't see them pop up, but they might be here. Sometimes I miss it, and I see people on later, and I didn't know they were there. So anyway, hi, good morning, everyone. We're making these dolmades. Did I say that right? And so, actually, we're not. We're just pickling grape leaves. But anyway, they're 4 dolmades, or it'll be my version of it anyway, which is always really hilarious and quite different. So, we missed you yesterday, Monique. We did, I thought for sure you'd be there. I should have given you the heads up. We did golden milk yesterday, so you can watch the video later. It was very good. Anyways, yeah, so rosemary is the other tea, and I know it sounds weird. I know everyone would way rather have cinnamon tea than rosemary tea, but if you are afraid of becoming sick, or, you know, feeling like something's going on, you know, hopefully you're not going to care what your medicine tastes like, kind of like Buckley's, right? So Buckley's tastes terrible, but it works, and it really does. And actually, that reminds me of my cold and flu tea. Oh, you are here. I couldn't see you. I was really missing you, Jane. I didn't know you were here. That makes my heart so warm. That's nice. So, anyways, yeah, so the Buckley's, that it tastes terrible but it works, reminds me of my cold and flu tea. My cold and flu tea is really super awesome, amazing. I mean, I have to say, I have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of testimonials on how well it works. It's not really something so much for prevention. You would not take it like daily for prevention or anything like that, but if you feel a little congested, or you feel anything coming on, or if you actually have a cold or a flu, my cold and flu tea has worked. It's worked for thousands of people for the last, I don't know, 10 years, I guess I've been making and selling it. So the cold and flu tea is great But my point being for today's talk is things that you would have in the kitchen that you can use. And so the rosemary is not going to taste very good. You could add honey or maple syrup or something like that. But if you feel like you're worried, do the rosemary. And hey, Rita, nice to see you on here. So do the rosemary. The other one that comes up pretty high on the list is, thyme. We were talking about thyme. I love rosemary more than thyme, and so that's why I keep trying to talk about rosemary, because she's so beautiful, such a beautiful plant. All right, so backing up a bit, what I had said was cinnamon first and then thyme. It's supposed to be thyme, came higher in the studies as an antiviral, higher than rosemary, which disappointed me, so that's why I keep wanting to throw rosemary right up there at the top, but it is coming up cinnamon, thyme, then rosemary. The other one that's coming up super high that's been studied as an antiviral for this particular period of time we're in is licorice, but most people don't have licorice root in their cupboards. So, I mean, if you have black licorice candy, I don't know, it's pretty processed, so it probably wouldn't work. But licorice root is also very highly studied right now. But that's not in your cupboard. So we're back to cinnamon, thyme, rosemary, and then you have your beautiful, lovely, always wonderful garlic. Just start eating it. Start eating it if you feel like you're getting anything. Start eating it like crazy, as much as you can. Some people are a little sensitive, so if you have to eat it with a meal, you can, but definitely have garlic. And I am going to go on to say, while I'm giving you a list that people have asked what to do, or what can they do if they get sick and they don't have things on hand that would be helpful. I am going to say that if you're coughing, honestly, I have to say that Buckley's works. It does. Excuse me. Maybe I need some right now. It really does work, and it's it's like a eucalyptus, I think. I'm not sure, but I think it's eucalyptus. I have my slide down glasses again. And so be sure to pick some up for this winter, because it's something that you do want to have in your cupboard. I do have tons of herbal remedies for coughing and for sore throats and all that kind of thing, and they all work, but there's something about Buckley's that paralyzes your throat and really helps to stop you from coughing. And a word of warning though, don't just chug that stuff back. Don't be doing that. I did that years ago when it first came out. I had a sore throat and stopped and picked up Buckley's, and I was so I can't remember. It was years ago. I can't remember if I was coughing so much or had such a sore throat or whatever. I just took a swig right out of the bottle. Don't do that. That is like deadly. Don't let it hit your stomach. That stuff, once it hits your stomach, it didn't work for me anyways. Let me tell you that. So I figured out the trick to Buckley's is a tiny, tiny little sip. Just let it dribble down to about here. Don't let it get any further down. At least for me, anyway. My stomach did not like that. So, anyway, have Buckley's on hand. Most people have rosemary, thyme, and the cinnamon. Ginger, again. Ginger's an awesome one. And, okay. Yeah, roasted garlic. Do you need to eat garlic chopped and leave it overnight to release the properties? No, you don't need to leave it overnight. I think, and Jane has a description on how exactly the garlic works and what the how it works. Anyways, she does. She knows all that. And but in my experience, you don't need to leave it overnight. I just chop it right out of the, take it right out of the little, peel it, chop it up and just eat it raw. If it's roasted, it's not as powerful. I do know that. If it's cooked, it's not as powerful. Still helpful, but not nearly like it is if it's raw. And I should have tried to memorize everything Jane said about it because she said it beautifully. So, so if you want to know more, maybe she would put it there again. And I will try and remember. I remember lots of things about foods, but sometimes I just don't. Unless I've said it a couple times. So, anyways, okay, so here we are. And I will look forward to the comments and the observations and suggestions for this particular recipe. Seeing as how I've never done this before, I have no idea what I'm doing, and it almost looks like, here I went got 2 quart jars because I thought I'd be doing 2. And I'm carrying on way too long. Usually we are here for like till about 11:40, half hour to 45 minutes, because I know people have things to do, and I want to make this short enough that anyone can jump on and easily watch the video and have enough time to watch the whole thing, but long enough to be able to offer some valuable information. So for the people that are new on here, while I'm rolling up the last of my leaves, what we did was we did a beautiful, I don't know if Monique saw this or not. It's a beautiful frozen bananas and soaked dates. It's a caramel pudding, or a caramel nice cream. Actually, it's a caramel nice cream. It's like ice cream, although now it's turning into a pudding because it's been sitting out for too long. But if I throw it in the freezer real quick, it'll turn back into a nice cream and be nice and have an ice cream consistency, nice and icy. Nice and icy, that rhymes. So yeah, that turned out really, really good. Don't forget to add your salt to the caramel. That is just absolutely to die for. And I made about a cup of bananas to, what did we say, half a cup of dates. And I'm hoping that that's enough for 2 dessert dishes, but I'm looking at what's left in the Vitamix and it might not be. So you might want to go with 2 cups of bananas if you have it, frozen bananas, and half a cup of dates, or yeah, I don't know that you would need 2 cups of date or a full cup of dates, because it tastes pretty caramely just with that, with the 1 cup of bananas and half cup of dates. Yeah, so I guess it'd be 1 to 1/2. Does that make sense? Apparently there are no numbers where I come from because I have a really hard time with numbers. Somebody told me that. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so we're just about finished here, you guys. Thank you for hanging out. Well, I might as well finish the last couple leaves. What I'm doing, okay, I have to tell you, the salt water that we boiled it in, we're going to fill the jar up with that. We're covering it. I have 2 leaves here. We're covering it with that salt water brine, and we're adding just a squeeze of lemon juice and just a sprinkle of apple cider vinegar, and then we're actually going to fill it up with the water over top with apple cider vinegar and the lemon juice, and then I am going to put it in a hot water bath, so I am going to can it. So, because I don't have enough salt in here, really, I'm not so sure. I mean, obviously it looks like a lot of salt, but I'm not so sure that it's going to stay for a long period of time, like that it will preserve for a long period of time. And I want to keep this one, so that I can do things with it and have it actually canned. But what I will do again is I'll do another one of these and I'll just pour the salt water over it and try and ferment them, so that it's natural ferment. So, I mean, you can look at it in a couple different ways. I know how valuable the fermented food is, but we have already cooked these leaves, right? So they're not raw. They're not going to have the, oh, that one looks kind of done. We're not going to have the benefits of the bacteria, because when you're making fermented foods, it's the bacteria on the cabbage, the fresh cabbage, bacteria on the carrots, it's bacteria on the fresh food that's mixed with the salt that creates the lactic acid, which starts to ferment. So that's why I am going to actually water bath these and can it. So and then I can experiment with just fermenting it and see how well they preserve after that. Okay, somebody's here. And so I guess I need to go, and we will see you guys tomorrow morning at 11. Thank you for hanging out. All I'm going to do is pour the hot water on here. I'm going to go like this. Add some lemon. Pick that seed out. Well, maybe not. Oh well. And add a little apple cider vinegar and the water, and then that's it. Cap it. Okay, I better go because somebody's going to knock on the door in about 1 minute because they know I'm done. We'll see you tomorrow morning at 11. Thanks for hanging out. Check out my Instagram and my YouTube channel and share and subscribe.